Hi everybody, now supposedly a tornado is supposed to be happening today. Now I am very scared, not just for me and my world, but for the people who live in it. But luckily I'm going today to show you a couple tips on creating an awesome bunker and some cool ways which you can actually make your bunker invisible to your friends. First things first, look at this redstone contraption. This redstone contraption is basically kind of a flush piston door. I don't know what you call it, but when you pull it, it looks good and it flushes away. Now inside, we're going to be doing a little bit of decoration because I don't think the Imaginext clan would like it in here. First things first, if you want to do decorating, you might want to work on the lighting and the ceiling. So we're actually going to be using stone bricks, and we're going to be replacing the entire floor, ceiling, with stone bricks, and the floor with maybe like black carpets. Because we don't want this all to look like a prison cell, do we? We just want it to kind of look a little bit modern. Now for the walls, I'm deciding I may use quartz because quartz looks really modern. And I think iron is a bit too expensive, especially if the tornado does get to this. At least we're able to at least we don't have to care too much, such as if we had tons of diamonds in here and the tornado destroyed the diamonds, we would be upset. Yet if we just had a little bit of quartz in here, I'm sure it wouldn't be that much of a big deal. So I'm going to work on the carpet. Now I am actually going to use black wool. However, you could use pink wool, red wool, blue wool, whatever wool you want. However, try and make it fit in with the theme. So if your theme's futuristic, maybe a light blue or maybe a white or a grey would fit it. However, if you're doing kind of like a prison cell kind of theme, you might want to have it a dark black colour. Or if you want it a really happy one, you could do it multicolour or even pink. It doesn't really matter to me what theme you do, as long as you make it look at least nice so that people will want to come down to this bunker. Now I believe that the walls for this one will be pillar quartz, only for the sides. Now this is something which in my base I don't really pay attention to like I used to, such as in the clan cave there used to be a really cool pattern along the walls, but because of how filled up it is, no one ever notices the pattern, so I'll use whatever blocks I want. And it's the same with my my house, where it was pillar quartz for the outside and quartz blocks for the inside. However, the theme just I eventually said, well, you know what, it's just a bit of a waste of time. No one's ever gonna look and admire every single block and be like, beautiful detail. They're just gonna walk in and expect it to be good. So anyways, I'm going to use chiseled quartz and pillar quartz for this. However, again, like I said, you could use stone bricks for a very kind of like what a bunker normally is, like stone bricks and stuff. But you can have it as good as you want. You could make it multicoloured. Just remember to try not to build this a day before the tornado happens, because it would be really dangerous, really dangerous. Now another design I originally came up with in my sketchbook world was actually purple blocks and endstone. However, I mean, most of my builds in the end city are like that, and I kind of don't like them blocks much. Anyways, next we're going to need a cobweb up here. So what happens is the person's gonna go but then they're just gonna easily fall down here. Now you could make this like water, which is what I think I did because I'm just commentating over a previous thing here. But I do think it looks better with a cobweb. But I mean, at least it prevents certain damage. Next, we don't want this to be a huge area, so, a huge dark area. So I think in the next clip, I work on redstone lamps. Now you can kind of do as many as you want. I only do 4 because then I come up with the idea of a fireplace, unlike before. So now it kind of looks really good. Remember to turn fire spreads off, or else things could get dangerous if you're doing a fire. So next I'm going to do a little bit of a furniture now. So like a big table, which takes up half of a room, because of course we don't want our guests to kind of be like bored in here, so we want like a long table. But then I come up with the design to do like miniature tables, I believe. Like some stuff I don't know because I've just watched the clip once. So then I do like netherrack. Remember to try and make it look in the middle, as best as you can. So then I come up with an idea for a nether brick. So try and make it look like, sort of look realistic. Because if you have like a pink chimney, like, or like a multicolored chimney, not many people in the world would admit to say they have a pink, blue, red and green chimney. So try and make it look as real as possible. I'm not saying like use bricks, like I mean use materials which are sensible. Don't use like pink wool and stuff. Now another good tip is actually to try and up. I remember shouting at that because then I realised that it would fall down again and I was getting really mad. But then remember to keep an eye out on your surroundings, such as if it's water and you're on top of and you're building a long fireplace. I advise you to have a lot of patience because it may take a long time for you to realise why none of your redstone contraptions are working. It's just a thing to keep in mind. Now I did my fireplace kind of dropped down a little bit, because fireplaces normally do kind of drop down a little bit. So yeah, I really hope you're enjoying this so far. So now the Imaginext clan are going to be pretty nice and wrapped up in here. I mean, they're probably going to want a bedroom area. So this is kind of what I'm building now, I think. And I just add like loads of beds close together, and then more beds close together, and then kind of in the middle I add two birch doors, and then I kind of alter between sideways and not sideways, so that it kind of has a nice funky pattern. Now, of course, you're going to drop down here, so of course I want it to be really nice, so you'd be like, oh, this looks like a nice bunker. Now another thing is most bunkers have like a good supply of water and a really, really big supply of food. So then I go and add in a couple chests, Now, most people won't be able to access the top chests. Yeah, I just put them all together like this, just so it looks nice. And then I have a couple cauldrons with water just around, just so it looks okay. I think I did it there. So it's one cauldron in the middle. Now the bathroom I add last, and now I kind of work on, I kind of realise that it may be a little bit too small now. So then I try and fit in as many interesting stuff as I can. So just like a couple seats here, but I don't use chairs. I actually use stuff so you can sit on them. And then I come up with the idea for some greenery. However, because of the biome I'm in, the greenery looks a little bit not green at all, which is a little bit annoying. So I just add fake plants in. And then I go and add a little bit of lime onto the top one. And I really hope that you are enjoying this. Like, I hope that you understand kind of what I'm talking about. So next I kind of add a couple furnaces just to make sure that everything is cooked in here. Then I add a couple crafting tables. Then a couple benches, because the Imaginext clan may feel a little bit like not left out, just a little bit, you know what I mean, like a little bit like we have to sit on the floor, and that wouldn't be nice. And then I add some bookshelves in the wall, just so that the clan can read some interesting things. I add a music box, some books, and some brewing stands, just so it does look properly nice. And then I have a brewing stand, and then I put in some water, just so it looks full. And then the enchantment table, I just go and add in the side, so then while you're sitting down, you can do it. And then I add a little log, I think, because I kind of like the log. I add a log kind of sitting along the fire, so that so that you can have fun. But then I realised it would be a bit better if it wasn't exactly at the fire. And next you want some item frames, like the world map, maybe some of your friends' prized possessions, which you know they wouldn't like to lose to the tornado. So then I'll go and add a picture of the whipper in. And then I basically now I'm adding the bathroom. But of course you don't need to worry about adding a bathroom, because of course people don't do the business in Minecraft, do they? But even still, I want this to look as realistic and as lovely as possible, so I'll go and add one in. Now I'm using bone blocks a little bit, just so it doesn't look like backwardsy. But of course I'm going to make the lighting a little bit dimmer in the bathroom, because that's normally what you can expect in a bathroom. Like, now don't worry, it's going to be a mixed gender, so like if you're a boy or a girl, you can come in. You don't have to just be like a boy, or you have to be a girl. You can be any really to go in. And then I work on the path, and I think it's good to do hardened clay instead. So that the hardened clay kind of is, because you don't want to be like doing your business and then you walk back on wool, because that would be a little bit weird. So I thought it would be best if you would on hardened, and then you could wipe your feet before you come back in, just because like most bathrooms are pretty germy. Unless like we get cleaned daily, which is what I'm going to try and make mine look like. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to ask you a couple questions while I'm building, just so that you're not bored there or you're skipping ahead the video at times to see me finish. So question number 1, who in Imaginext is described as revolting, cute and smelly? Is it Red the Labrador, Dino or Flame? Answer now. So all you have to do is you have to say it, either leave it in the comments or just say it in your head, and I'll tell you which one's correct in a couple of seconds. So did you guess red? Because if you guessed puppy dog, then you are correct. So if you guessed red, you are correct, like I've just said. And that means you can pat yourself on the back, not too hard though, because it may hurt just a little bit. Now the second question is a really tricky one, and none of you will know this unless you're like a member of my family or my friend. One of my friends discovered something very shocking about Imaginext. Yeah, what was it? Is it that Dino was being attacked by, hunted by ancient wigs from the planet Mars? Is it that Flame is a clone, as the real clone was destroyed by Dino? Or was it Ben and Eagle are actually best friends, however they save their enemies to create attention? The correct one is actually Flame and the clone. But don't worry, Flame isn't a clone. It was actually, I posted out 3 days later saying that it was an April Fool's, and like everyone was really shocked about that. And like, oh Joseph, you fooled me, how dare you. So anyways, let's get back on with the video then. So I've kind of added a bath in now. And then I go and add in some redstone lamps. So now I've kind of done the bathroom. Now you don't need to copy exactly what I'm doing. In fact, you probably are listening to me in the background, or you are actually listening to me. Like I'm watching me, but the chances are you're listening to me in the background. So there we are. This is the toilet. I'm gonna add dark oak doors. And open them close them for now. So now it looks pretty beautiful. I think I'll go and add just 1 or 2 paintings to the scene to try and make it just look a little bit nice. Because normally, like in toilets, you see something either really expensive or really important. Because, like, when I went to Disney, and I kid you not, there were actual gems and, like, fossils in a toilet. Oh, let's go and hide some of the world's most precious things in a toilet, shall we? Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous now you think about it. And then I go and add a ladder because, of course, exiting may be a bit hard. However, then I realise it's much funner to actually stay in the bunker and then there kind of be an exit somewhere else. So then I go and add a ladder just up over. I think I add it somewhere. I'm not really looking at the video anymore now. Oh yeah, I do. I'm actually looking just at my computer. Because remember, this is a clip of me actually doing it, and I'm like just narrating. It's pretty boring, like narrating over something. Anyway, then I go and realise that, oh no, I've done it, so it's here. So then I have to go all the way back, nerd pile all the way, and I basically yell because I'm so frustrated. But then it turns out I didn't really need to cry because I could do it up there. But then I think I run into another problem. No, I don't. So then all I do now is I basically go and add some more ladders. So yeah, now I'm going to ask you a couple more Imaginext questions. So number one, in the book, in the puzzle book, Who Shot King? Who Shot King? Was it Batman, Imposter, Krabby, or Squidilius? You are correct if you said Imposter or Krabby, because Krabby and Eel worked together to shoot King, but Imposter did shoot King. Now it's just a puzzle book for kids. It's not true. Don't worry, and it's not the real King if you're wondering. It's King from my Imaginext. Let's go and talk a little bit about Imaginext then. Do you watch my Imaginext? I mean, do you think it's good and all? Do you like it? I know most people don't like it. But we are going to the end of the video, don't worry. But most people don't like my Imaginext because of how loud it is. And even if people didn't care about that, people are still, oh, wait a second, this is the bit where the tornado goes. Now, actually, right now, I'm going to cut to live action me, so we can see the tornado. So, hello, everybody. This is our bunker. I was commentating over. I'm sure you've seen all of this. Now a tornado's here. Oh no! No, we didn't evacuate. Oh no! He